Welcome back to the show. Corned beef is a traditional Irish dish, and our resident chef Melanie Prosciutti will show you how to put a new twist on this classic favorite.
It's St. Patrick's Day, and I'm going to cook my family a really special dinner tonight. But instead of my old corned beef with cabbage and potato recipe, I'm going to make them my new sugar-braised corned beef sandwiches on homemade caraway seed rolls. I can't wait for them to get home tonight. Let's get started. Well, now we're just going to put everything in my big 12-quart stock pot. And I'm going to start with 2 cups of water. How easy is that? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 corned beef roasts, fat side up, and just place them down in the pot, and if they overlap a little, that is absolutely just fine. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fragrant spices, and I'm going to not put them on top of the roast. I'm going to put them down into the water. I'm going to put the cinnamon sticks, bay leaves, cloves, allspice. This is just wonderful. Wait till you smell this roast. The next thing I'm going to do is on top of the roast, I'm going to distribute 2 really big, coarsely chopped onions right over the top and 12 large garlic cloves right over the top. Lastly, what I'm going to add are 2 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. 1. Here comes the second one. And 2 tablespoons of sugar and red pepper flakes. I'm going to finish that off with 2 more cups of water. About the only secret I can say to you about this whole recipe is to layer it in the pot the way I told you to. You want to make sure you have water in the bottom and your roast's fat side up so that when it comes to a boil, it's not going to scorch the bottom of the pan. Now all I'm going to do is put a lid on this, bring it to a boil, and turn it down to simmer for 3 hours while I go off and do something that's really fun. It's been 3 hours, and as you can see, my roast has been simmering away, and doesn't that look fantastic? And it's all reduced down. The only thing we're going to do now is take it out of the pot, coat it in some brown sugar, finish it off in the oven. Wait till you taste these sandwiches, folks. Well, I've taken my roasts out of the pot and I've put them in an ordinary 9 by 13 inch baking dish with a rack in the bottom of it. They're fat side up, and I'm just spooning brown sugar on the top of them. They're going to go into the oven at 350 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes until the sugar caramelizes, and then we eat. My roast is out of the oven. I've let it rest about 10 minutes. I'm slicing it on a 30-degree angle, as paper thin as I possibly can with a good sharp knife. Would you please look at this, that sugar crust and that succulent soft meat. These are going to make fabulous sandwiches. Isn't this just a beautiful plate of meat? I can't wait for you to taste it on my deli-style sandwiches with a side of potato salad and some dill pickle slices. This might just be your favorite St. Patrick's Day meal. For these and all of my recipes, just go to my website.
Thanks, Melanie. With St. Patrick's Day coming up, it's a reminder that spring is just around the corner. And what better way is there to kick off a new season than to lend a helping hand to a very worthy cause? In April, the MS Society of Central Pennsylvania will hold its annual walk in State College to raise money for the research and treatment of multiple sclerosis. Karen Clipper is the MS Community Outreach Specialist in State College and says for her, this cause hits close to home.
I have had multiple sclerosis for over 30 years, and knock on wood, my course has been rather slow in progressing, but there has been changes to my, to my life and the way I do things. So overall, I kind of felt like it was a fit because I had a personal connection and motivation, and and I just love what I do and love what I do for the chapter.
Multiple sclerosis is a disease that affects over 6,000 people in Central PA, and Clipper says each person experiences the symptoms in a different way.
Multiple sclerosis is a chronic, sometimes disabling disease of the central nervous system. My immune system, those of us that are diagnosed with MS, the immune system attacks nerve fibers along the brain and spinal cord. Where the attack results in damage with the signal leaving the brain to the function. So if it's an area where it's going to affect my speech, then my speech will be affected. My vision, it can affect my walking ability, all of my motor skills abilities. So you never know where the attack is going to be.
Eileen Melia volunteers with the MS Society and also suffers from multiple sclerosis. She says she advises people recently diagnosed with MS to stay positive and seek out the services the society has to offer.
Life's too short, you know, that kind of thing, and not to sweat the small stuff kind of approach. Seek support, and whether it be in a support group or through the MS Society, you know, our chapter itself. That means a lot, I think, to talk to people who have the disease, know what it's like to deal with it day to day.
The walk will take place this year on April 10th at Medler Field at Lebrano Park, and Clipper says she hopes the community will come out to support their cause.
Walk MS is our rallying point. It's the time when we are able to bring the greatest volume of people together to bring MS awareness, raise funds for MS, and of course support all the programs that we do. In Central PA, we have programs, educational programs, family support programs, financial programs, medical research into the cause and cure for MS, and Walk MS helps us to do all these things.
For more information on the upcoming Walk MS, log on to pac.nationalmssociety.org. Coming up, Penn State revisits the great works of a famous alum. We'll have more after this.